Hello, Year 3. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and New Year. As you are all aware, next week we're going to start our distance learning. So I wanted to send you this video to give you a little bit more information about distance learning in Year 3. First of all, you may have received a pack of resources from school already. If not, this should arrive in the next few days. I want to show you what some of these resources are for. This will be our topic book for the term, where we can put all of our work completed in our topic humanities lessons. We also have an atlas, which we'll be using during humanities, an English book, a maths book, a folder for science, and a small plastic clock, but we won't need this for a couple of weeks yet. Distance learning in Year 3 will mean that you have 4 lessons each day. You will have not seen your timetable yet, but in the next couple of days you should receive a copy of your timetable, and it will show you the 4 lessons that you have each day. To find the work for your lessons, you're going to need to use Edmodo. During your computing lessons this year, you've all joined Edmodo and you've all joined all your different classes. You may have not been onto it for a while, but during computing lessons, you all joined all of the different classes. I've also added a link onto this video to show you how to log on to Google Chrome and how to log on to Edmodo, just to remind you. But you've done that in lots of computing lessons, so I'm certain when you see that video, it might jog your memory and remind you exactly how to do it. Do just double check to make sure you are a member of all of those different lessons. And if there's any you are missing, let me or Mrs. Allen know, and we can give you that code so you can join that group. What will happen during your lessons is the teacher will add a video to that Edmodo page. So for example, your first lesson on Monday is maths. So you'll go onto Edmodo and go to your maths class, and at the very top of that page, there will be a video added. And you'll just press on that video and it will show Mrs. Allen or I explaining what to do for that lesson. And there will also be activities attached as well. So there'll be a video and maybe 1 or 2 worksheets attached that you'll have to complete once you've watched the video. Now, I know for lots of my videos, I sometimes get you to pause the video. For example, if it was a maths lesson, I might say, okay, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to pause the video. And when you do pause it, I would like you to try and find as many ways to make 10 as you can. And I'd get you to pause the video, think about those answers for a few minutes, maybe write them down, and then unpause the video. I'll talk about some of the answers you might have given. So sometimes you might have to pause the video and do short activities in between. So do listen out for that when you're watching the videos. You can always re-watch them if you want to, as many times as you like. Often it will be easier to print some of the work. If you really can't print it, you will be able to work in your workbooks and write down some of the answers. But it will be easier for lots of the lessons if you are able to print the activities and stick them into your books and work on those worksheets. There will also be a Google Meet added for each lesson. That may be something you used in Year 2 during distance learning, but what will happen is you'll watch the video to start with, and hopefully that means you'll be able to understand and begin that work. But if you have any questions, you want to ask anything or check any work, there will also be a link added during the lesson where you just press on it and it will have Mrs. Allen or I or one of your other Year 3 teachers appear on the screen. You'll be able to talk directly to us live at that time. And that's a great way to check your work. Just like we would do in class, we might say, does anyone want to read one of their sentences? Does anyone want to tell me what they got for the first question? And you can check your work with your teachers. And it'll be really, really great to see as many of you as you can using Google Meet. It's a great way for you to check that you're doing the right thing, to maybe run through 1 or 2 examples with your teacher, or to ask any questions, or get them to explain something one or two more times if you would like them to. So please keep an eye out for that Google Meet link. This all might seem quite strange to start with, but after a few lessons, you'll get used to that same method every single time. When you are completing your work, do think about those targets that you have as well. The teacher might not be there watching or walking around the classroom, but if you know, my target is to make sure I use my capital letters and full stops, or my target is to make sure I form my letters carefully, or keep my writing on the line, or to check that my writing makes sense. You remember lots of those targets. Try to make sure you are trying to meet those targets even when you're working from home. Last distance learning, we still use pluses. We're going to use something similar to pluses this time, but I'm not going to spoil that for now. I'm going to leave Mr. Clark to give you a little bit more information about that, maybe at the beginning of next week. Once you have completed your work, it would be great if you could send that work to your teachers. Now, we found in year 3, the best way to do that is to take a picture of that work that you have done and email it to your teacher, and then they can send you back some feedback just to say what you've done really well and maybe a target for next time. And I think that's the best way to do it. You might not be able to do that yourself to begin with. That might need a little bit of help from mummy and daddy or whoever's looking after you. But maybe by the end, that's something you have learned how to do as well. So take a picture and email that picture to your teacher. If you do want to contact your teachers, you can write messages on Edmodo, but the one problem with that is they don't always tell us straight away that somebody's written a message, or it doesn't always appear straight away. So if you really need to ask your teacher something straight away, Google Meet is your first step during the lesson. If it might not be during the lesson or the Google Meet isn't there, email is definitely the next best way to contact your teachers because they'll receive those emails straight away. Finally, I just wanted to say to have fun and enjoy distance learning. It's a new way of learning, but it's a great way to practice and learn new skills as well. Improve those computing skills, still work on those targets you've got in class, and to try different ways of learning and different activities and to learn new things. So enjoy it. And please keep your teachers informed of any new things that you are doing. I look forward to seeing you all in your first lessons on Monday. Have a lovely weekend.